Very great pleasure for me and my colleague Masada, who will have a chance to speak a bit later. We are co-hosts tonight. Welcome to the residence of the Slovenian ambassador and the improvised music venue for tonight. Deputy Minister Kozai, I think we're expecting the Director General a bit later, Ambassador of Bosnia and Herzegovina, Mirsada Čelaković, other ambassadors, colleagues, friends. Thank you very much for coming tonight. I was thinking how to introduce the performance tonight, the group Deder, and I will be a bit personal, which is not what I usually do, but I will weave the story through a couple of people that made this possible. And I will start with my very good friend from Ljubljana. His name is Azar, and he comes from Mostar. And he came as a refugee in the 90s, and we became really good friends. And he was the first who introduced me to the Sedalinke, to the music, because in the, actually what was a refugee center in Ljubljana, in the barracks of Beach, which maybe you know, some of you know, the cultural scene was blooming, you know, in the most extraordinary circumstances. These were young people who had to leave home for very bad reasons. And I remember, you know, my student years were interesting, but I just remember how impressed I was with people, young people who had to leave home and found a new place of creativity in Slovenia. And I think it's a fantastic story. Move forward, you know, what, 30 years probably. Nayla, who's there. This is the second person in my story. She's an intern at our embassy. And she came in February. And we started talking about you know, music and culture and anything else. And she said, but I sing, I'm in a group who sings these kind of songs. Bošnjačke narodne and Sedalinke. So then the third person come into play, which is my partner in crime. If anybody else would be, you know, Bosnian ambassador, I would be maybe a bit cautious to approach. But I think the whole conversation probably took half a minute. And we said, let's do it together. And that's why you're all sitting here today. With no dedicated budget, but a lot of goodwill. And with some help, exactly, from Turkish Airlines.
Bosnian person in Istanbul.
Indeed. We got two more girls from the same group to Ankara, which brings us to another group of people who are very important for us to be here. This is my team, the team of the Bosnian embassy, and my family. If you saw some of the scenes that were going on today, I think I could be accused of child labor. My kids were polishing and everything else to turn into this dining room into a music venue. And last but not least, of course, all of you, who I think recognize the message of this event of two countries joining force and offering something I think which will be very beautiful for all of us. I think we all need it in these times, of these crazy times, something that brings us all together in a celebration of culture, in the cultural heritage of two countries that share so much.
In
history, in culture, and everything else. So, and the human, you know, people-to-people bonds.
Yes.
Now I have to do a bit of reading because this is a bit harder to introduce the group. So, Deder group is
Deder.
Deder. is a group of young women, they're all female, who work under the umbrella of the Youth Association, Youth Club in Velenje, a very nice place in Slovenia. And as I said before, my good friend is, the first generation. These are second and third generation of the diaspora who are dedicated their passion to the music heritage of Bosnia and Herzegovina. And also by taking care and nurturing this tradition, they also enrich the cultural space of my own country, of Slovenia. They call themselves Slovenian and Bosnian, and they will speak a bit later. I would like to mention a couple of names. So the mentor who is here today with us, Azra, Taida as well. And to say that this was also a project that was supported by the Ministry of Culture of Slovenia and the European Union back about 10 years ago. As I said, I'm very happy that you're all here, especially they are here, and I will now pass the floor to my very good friend, Lisa.
Thank you. Had too much, made me very emotional, and to see these beautiful Slovenian girls with the Bosnian heritage and background, and that they didn't forget where they're coming from, and they didn't forget their grandmothers, grandfathers, fathers, and mothers. I was very, how to say, emotional now. It's more difficult than to talk in some political whatever issues. This is a talk about our past, in some way, even my past. I was refugee in one moment, but not in Slovenia. And all of us stand up and pass that very challenging time. And I have to say something about the connection of these two beautiful countries, Slovenia and Bosnia and Herzegovina. I know that someone from our region will say that I'm exaggerating, but these two former republics of Yugoslavia are the most beautiful there.
I agree.
We agree. We have mountains, we have rivers, we have lakes, and even we have access to the Adriatic coast.
We do.
We are not Croatia, but we have.
We do.
Yeah, and we have even that, and we have nice people. And what I have to say, of course, I'm sorry for today.
We also have mountains in the same.
Yeah, I know, but now it's Slovenia and Bosnia. And some feelings about Slovenia, I have to say, this challenging time. I always count on my Slovenian friends, and they have diplomats. They have always been there, very honest, and very Slovenian in that sense, very direct, and telling me the truth, what I like, and I'm very straightforward, like I'm Slovenian. I'm not. And this is also when I met Goraz. When we met, after 5 minutes, I started to realize that Goraz will be one of my best friends. And in any case, I will not talk too much. I'm proud that these young girls are here and that they will tell the story of the history of our region. And I like, when I met them, they said we are Slovenian, but we are in the same time Bosnian. And that is something what I respect, because I'm sure their families found their happiness and life, but keep them not to forget where they're coming from this beautiful country who has a shape like a heart in the middle of Europe, and it's called Bosnia and Herzegovina. And now I will give the floor for the Deputy Minister, who, Mr. Kemal Bozaj, has a special reason to talk tonight, of course. First of all, he is a Deputy Minister, Master Bozaj. Second, he knows our region. He served in Slovenia. Yes, he knows the region very well. Maybe one of the best knowledgeable person about the region, because he is married to beautiful Bosnian woman, Sarajevo girl, and it's not easy to marry Sarajevo girl always, but still, I'm sure you are happy, and thank you, Ambassador Bozaj.
Immediately after Kutlayan, I went to Sarajevo, Bosnia and Herzegovina,
and to have that kind of an occasion, including these two beautiful countries, is very special for me. And you know, Sevdalinka is a word combination of the region language and Turkish Arabic. Sevda means love. Sevdalinka, when you read it etymologically, it means love place which is placed in the heart. It makes that connotation. You know, love is an intangible concept, and this is why you can only touch, and it can touch to your heart with the music, and we will catch this touch. And also, Sevdalinka got the status of intangible cultural heritage in 2024 in UNESCO. That is also very special. And I believe Sevdalinka, it has been historic for centuries. However, today, when you have in Turkey, Türküler, when you have tango in Argentina, in the Balkans, when you talk about music, it is Sevdalinka. And this is the beginning of Goran Bregovic or Balashev songs. So we are very lucky to have that kind of a very good group here. It's very good to have this occasion, and I would like to thank to Goraj and Mirsada to arrange this and to their embassies. Thank you very much.
And I also don't want to forget anything, so that's why. So thank you, Your Excellencies, distinguished ambassadors, esteemed deputy ministers, dear guests, and misafirler. Good evening. My name is Naiba. As you already know, I'm one of the singers of the vocal group Deder. It is a great pleasure for me to stand here with my fellow two performers tonight and share this evening with all of you. Since the songs will be performed in Bosnian language, we would like to briefly guide you through the program so you can follow not only the melodies through the different genres, but also the stories and the emotions that they carry. Some of these songs may sound unfamiliar, let me say that to your ears, perhaps because of what you are not used to hearing, I will say it like that. But that is precisely at the core of our work. Our goal is to bring to life a way of singing that existed decades ago, when our ancestors used these vocal traditions to express deep emotions, tell stories, and accompany everyday life, whether in moments of joy or while working in the fields. Ucice la comilane mi